Good evening, morning, whatever time it is, folks, when you guys see this video. Mechanic Dave here. Today, I am working on a 2014 Ford Escape. It's the SE model with the 1.6 liter. It's all-wheel drive, little turbo. So, what I got going on is I did an engine swap on this thing, and the other engine ran fine, but it consumed a boatload of fuel, and the owner wanted me to swap out the engine, and he had a slipping transmission as well, so we went ahead and swapped the transmission at the same time. This engine was a good running engine that I got it from a salvage yard, low running mile motor. So, but it exhibited kind of like poor fuel issues whenever it would start. It wouldn't start. It would start for a millisecond and then die. So I swapped out the high pressure fuel pump. To do so, you undo all these connectors, undo this 10 millimeter here. That helps you just kind of push it off to the side. The banjo clamp here is a 7 millimeter. You just unscrew it, break the two apart, set it off to the back. The high pressure fuel pump has two bolts, and they are 7 millimeter. There's two of them, one there, one there. Then you take off all four ignition coils, which there's two bolts per coil. They're all 8 millimeters. Then there's three 8 millimeters on the front. Undo all your wiring, lay them off to the side, pull this cover off, at which point when you get underneath, there'll be a Torx bit. T45 is what you'll need in order to take off the two bolts that hold the fuel pump on. So, just trying to figure out how to flip this camera. I am technically inclined. So either way, I replaced that fuel pump and it did not fix the issue. I had pressure going to the fuel pump, so that's why I felt like the high pressure fuel pump was bad. So removing it from the one outside that I knew worked prior to me removing it, then I moved on. According to my scan tool, the high pressure, or the fuel rail pressure sensor, it's got 3 pins on the inside, and that sucker lives right here. So lo and behold, I replaced that, and the engine came online. Purrs like a kitten now. The socket you're going to need to remove that is a 27 millimeter deep. So don't put it on with the strength of God. Just use your best judgment. I always use a ratchet, and then I choke it up as high as I can, and I just use the power of my wrist. I'm sure there's a torque spec to it. My elbow clicks. That's how long I've been doing this. When my elbow clicks, I know I've got it tight enough. All jokes aside, this one really stumped me because the car ran fantastic before me replacing the engine, so I just felt like that was not the issue. Like, there couldn't have been an electrical issue. Like, the fuel pump couldn't magically have gone out. So all I knew was something from the new motor was problematic. So chances are the high pressure fuel pump on this motor was going bad on the new engine that I got, and it sent shavings to the fuel rail, and then the pressure sensor got clogged with debris. But the fact that it wasn't firing makes me think that it was a contact within the sensor. And when you don't have a good ground, that completes a ground for the fuel system, and without that ground you won't get the pulse needed for the injectors and stuff like that. So don't burn up the starter like I almost did, because I was confident that everything was fine and I just needed to purge the air out of the system. I even used the scan tool to purge the air out of the system. But either way, just wanted to share this tidbit with you guys. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Hopefully all goes well with you guys. Again, this was a 2014 Ford Escape SE model with a 1.6 liter turbo. Have a good one.